So this is video tutorial number 2, and if you haven't already got your GarageBand project still open from the first demo, then you need to reopen your GarageBand either in the dock or using the magnifying glass, and then you will need to reopen your named project. So mine is here, hip hop, double click, and this is the beat that we created in tutorial 1. So we said that in this video we were going to look at how to make more interesting beats by adding in little extras to go with our main underneath beats. So to do this, we'll need another track with another drum on. So if you click the plus button like I just did here at the bottom left of your screen, you will get the option to add 3 different kinds of track. Make sure it's clicked on the piano or software instrument option and then click create. This will add you a new track here underneath your beat that you've already added, and it will bring up the instrument selection window in case you don't want it on the standard grand piano sound, which we don't. So we want another drum kit sound, so I'm going to look for my hip hop kit again. You are welcome to choose the same kit that you used for the first beat that you created, or to use a different one. Click the I button, get rid of that window out of our way again. So we need to think about what we can add to this now further into our beats to create a bit of interest and make sure that we are not just hearing one beat continuously all the way through without any additions or changes. So I'm going to press down my commands button and add a new green box that we can work with and edit. And then remember, if I double click on that green box, it opens up our editing pane at the bottom here where we can add extra sounds. So remember to scroll up or down and try out different sounds down the side of your edit pane on the keyboard to see what you think would fit with the beat you have already created. So I'm going to go for the hand clap sound that we talked about in the last video, which is this black key just above C1 on your keyboard. And I'm going to add a few of these in to create a bit of variety. So I need to follow this line along on my edit pane to make sure I'm clicking on the right note. And then I'm going to add in one long clap on beat 2. And then a shorter pair of claps on beat 4. So remember, you add the note by using your pencil option and holding down the command button. Then I've just shortened it by dragging the end of the note. And now I'm going to copy this note by holding down the Alt button and dragging it onto one of the other boxes. So I've now got a very basic clapping beat, which we can have a little listen to now to see how it fits with my first beat. So this is fitting in quite nicely with my snare drum beat. Remember, we used beat 2 and beat 4 to add in the snare drum. So these are fitting quite nicely in with that because I've focused on the same 2 beats. But again, it is up to you entirely as to what sounds you are adding and on which beats or parts of beats you are adding them in. So have an experiment, see what you like the sound of. So I know that this matches really well and it sounds good with my piece of music. So I'm going to loop this so that it carries on for a few more bars with my original beat. Now, a nice way of introducing this sound is, instead of it just suddenly starting, we could take our 2 claps that are at the end of the beat we've just created and add them in the bar before we've actually started our main beat. So to do that, I'm going to add another green box that we can edit. And I'm going to add my 2 claps from this box into this box now. So command again, click to add your note on the right letter of your keyboard and then drag it into the position you want, and I can copy this using the Alt button and holding it down on my keyboard. So I've got my 2 claps but without my clap on beat 2 in this bar before the main interest of this second beat comes in. So now if we listen to the beat from the very beginning, we have the original beat to start with for 3 whole bars, and then in the 4th bar of the original beat we've added the end of the second beat followed by the full second beat, which has been looped for another 4 bars. So a lot of things in music happen in bars of 4 or bars of 8. So that's really important to remember. So this is the end of bar 4, the end of our 4-bar group, which is why we've added a little bit to introduce the new beat. And this is the end of our bar 8, which is why I've at the moment stopped my beat there. So we'll have a little listen. So this is my original beat. That's the interest that we've just added on the new beat, and then the new beat carrying on with it. So that's an easy way to add a little bit of interest and colour to your backing track. And again, anything that you now add in this first cell of your looped section will automatically be looped for the rest of the beat where you've already looped the track. So if I wanted to add another sound, for example, this triangle sound, say. So that is in between C4 and C5 on the letter A key. I could add this in now on different beats and see it's already copied these into the looped bars now, and I can again change the length of my notes as I add them in, making sure to keep them on the right line so that it is definitely on the right sound. And then let's try having a listen to this. So we've added now a bit of further interest to our beat by adding in 2 extra sounds on top of our main beat, which was focusing on the bass drum, snare drum and hi-hat sounds. So this is how we can develop and continue to add to our beats over the course of our rap track to make sure that we don't get bored of the same sound all the way through. If you have already now completed your original main beat and an added beat to add some extra little sounds and colour to your rap track, think about now creating a second different beat on the same track as your original beat that you can use to create contrast. This will be particularly useful if you have a verse and a chorus section in your raps already worked out, because you could use one of the beats for your verse sections and a different separate beat for your chorus sections to make it really clear where you're changing between those 2 parts of your structure. So make sure you're not going to add over the top of what you've already done. Scroll further into your project and think now about creating a second different beat to your first one with enough contrast and different sounds to make it really obvious where it's changed in your structure.